Okay, I've been joined by John Common, and we are looking at Dead Pixels 2 straight to video. Tell us about your game. What are you showing here today?
Dead Pixels is a randomly generated side-scroller with guns, loot, zombies, and 1 to 4 player co-op.
Okay, I know that I've played the first game. It's 8-bit. It's got 8-bit graphics. You're changing things up slightly with its sequel. What's different?
Well, the original game was kind of 8-bits and it had a kind of grindhouse filter, and I've decided to jump 10 years and do 16-bits and like a VHS look to it. So it's kind of more inspired by like straight-to-video horror films of late 80s, early 90s.
And what gameplay changes have you brought in on top of the kind of the visual changes?
Well, one of the biggest things is it's now 1 to 4 player co-op, and there's going to be online co-op as well. These were, some of the things fans really wanted that I just couldn't get into the first game. I'm also adding in a story mode as well as just a normal kind of quick mode that's kind of similar to what Dead Pixels 1 was. So there'll be the story game that'll be, maybe 12 hours at most, and then there's the quick game mode that you could just set up whatever options you want and just start a game with that kind of setting.
And you've got characters moving between cities now, is that correct?
What I'd like to do is when you finish the game will kind of end with you leaving the city, and then you can kind of import that character into a new game and it's a whole new city. So it's kind of like a new game plus option. So you can just keep reusing the same character and building them up more and more each city you visit. Will
you be able to import characters from the first game, like age them 10 years, give them a new graphical sheen?
Probably not. It's all new characters. I would like to, but the art style is just kind of different enough that whatever I do would look completely different in this one. This one does have a character creator though, so you can make whatever the hell you want. I'm adding bits to it constantly, and I'll be taking suggestions from people on what bits to add.
What kind of RPG elements are you kind of adding to the mix?
So this one has experience, and then you've got multiple skills, and when you get that skill to a certain level, you'll get to pick between two kind of skills that will affect the game quite differently. So it means that by the end of the game, if you're playing co-op, you're going to be fairly different than the other players, which is kind of how co-op games are kind of fun, because you'll be when I play co-op games with my friends, we always, like, one of us does one thing and one does another, and then we've each got our roles within the group. And I kind of wanted to bring that into Dead Pixels 2.
Okay, from your get-up today, we can tell that you're a fan of the 90s. What kind of cultural touches are you bringing to the game? How are you really kind of establishing it in that time zone?
Well, I've ended up watching a hell of a lot of films from like late 80s, early 90s. One of the things that like I'm really using is like a use of color. There's a lot of kind of like wonderful films from around then where they would use colored lights everywhere to kind of like signify mood and feel, and you don't really get that now. Normally it's kind of like a digital effect done after, but back in the 80s and 90s, you'd use a colored light to, use a blue light to make it look like night. You'd maybe use like a red light to signify heat or something. And I'd really love to do the same kind of things in this with my lighting engine.
Is there a kind of musical twist? Yeah.
Yeah, I've been kind of like hunting out a whole load of like synth music that's very kind of 80s inspired. Everyone seems to be loving it, which I'm really happy about, because I was a little worried that I'm kind of like choosing something only I would like, but you see a lot of people playing the game bobbing their heads, which is nice.
So how far along in development are you? What's the current state of the game?
So currently you can pre-order the game and you'll get a beta key through Steam. So you'll get builds like maybe every couple of weeks at most, maybe sooner depending on how much I'm working on and what I'm doing. I'm hoping to release the full game properly about the end of this year, and that's for PC, Mac, and Linux, and then hopefully consoles beginning of next year.
So have you spoken to any of the platform holders?
I have, but I can't do what I'd want to do just now. I think I'm going to be talking to publishers and maybe seeing if they can help out, because I am just a one-man team, and it's hard enough for me to test co-op by myself, never mind on like multiple consoles. Okay. So.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, and good luck with the launch and the rest of the development.
Thanks.